a Lagos-based buy now, pay later payment platform, announced the close of its $780,000 pre-seed round. Seedcamp, which is a London-based investment firm, led the funding round. Several angel investors and founders, including Olubenga Agbola, CEO of Flutterwave, Richmond Bassi, CEO of Bamboo, Babs Ogunde, CEO of Kuda Bank, also participated in the round. Earlier, we spoke with Celestine Omin, who is a co-founder and CEO of Klump, to talk about all things tech and the buy now, pay later model.
The buy now, pay later model is a business model that allows people to buy for things and pay over a period of time, as opposed to putting down 100% down payment whenever they want to buy for things.
So is that simple? Is that straightforward?
Yes.
Okay, so there was this happened in the United States. I want to put this up. A personal finance company called, I think it's Credit Karma. Mm-hmm. They conducted a survey that showed that 22% of the respondents in their survey, this is on buy now, pay later, were using credit card debts in order to be able to
The buy now, pay later model is a business model that allows people to buy for things and pay over a period of time, as opposed to putting down 100% down payment whenever they want to buy for things.
So is that simple? Is that straightforward?
Yes.
Okay, so there was this happened in the United States. I want to put this up. A personal finance company called, I think it's Credit Karma. Mm-hmm. They conducted a survey that showed that 22% of the respondents in their survey, this is on buy now, pay later, were using credit card debts in order to be able to pay off the debt that's accumulated on their buy now, pay later purchases. And that essentially, according to an analyst, okay, so here's the data now. This is pretty much, again, it's in the United States, but still on the same model. So the issue, though, is on debt accumulation. I want to take a quote from the Chief Persons Officer of Credit Karma, Colin McCary. He says these individuals, they're making the payments because they're connecting a card to automate the payment, but then their debt load is increasing. I wanted you to talk about, I guess, the risk of debt accumulation using this model. What's your stance on that?
Well, yeah. There is debt accumulation, but for Klump, for instance, as a business, we don't support that. Our own entire premise is helping people do responsible lending and responsible credit. So if you go on Klump today, if you take one loan with us, you can't take another loan until you finish paying that.
Okay.
That way, we'd help people to run the risk of accumulating debt over different merchants that work with us.
Okay, but what if they don't pay? Because I think the way your system is, you are assuming that risk, are you not?
Yes, we are.
Aha. So what happens if they don't pay?
I mean, that's a very good question. So before we, issue out credit or loan to anybody on our system, we have to do some sort of check, just to make sure that this person is worthy enough to pay back the loan. One of the things that we do is just, we look at your transaction history from your bank and say, okay, do you have enough, money to offset this loan? Do you earn enough to offset this loan? I mean, it doesn't make sense to give a loan of, let's say, ₦1 million to a man that earns 50,000 naira on a monthly basis. It doesn't make loan. So for us, I know we do that extra load of seeing if this person, has enough liquidity to take care of their loan.
Fantastic. Now, I'm glad you mentioned that you do checks. We've got 3 credit bureaus in Nigeria. So as far as credit checks are concerned, how does the check work? Are you working with those credit bureaus?
Yes, we do. We work with a partner that allows us, be able to see if a person's credit history is in good standing. One of the very first things we do is to see if this person is a flight risk, if this person is on a watch list of some sort, and if this person has loans with other companies before we even issue them that facility from our own end. So it's very easy to give out loans, but collection is the biggest part of us. So for us, before we even approve a person, we do the heavy lifting of making sure that this individual has the capacity to pay back. So we don't just give out loans to any single person that comes to us.
Great stuff. As far as this, the pre-seed fundings that you raised, what are the plans for those funds?
Oh, okay. So the plans for those funds is, think about it like fuel for us. So we're going to dedicate a part of it, to sort of cover our loan book, and also a part of it also to sort of build the team, build our engine, and build the business overall.
Interesting. Something that was interesting noting that prior founders from the likes of Flutterwave, Bamboo, Kuda Bank, and so on participated in your round. And can you speak to, I don't know if you call it paying it forward or whatever, but the fact that you've got established startups, for supporting each other, essentially founders supporting each other in the Nigerian ecosystem. Can you speak to that?
Well, I mean, it's beautiful to see. Prior to this period that we are now, if you wanted fund, you had to go outside, to go get those funds. So for me, being able to have people locally who are founders participating around is a validation of two things. One, as an ecosystem, we've grown for the fact that people, have enough liquidity to participate in the rounds. But most importantly is also the belief that they have in us as a business, as a company also to work with us. It's also very interesting to note that a good number of our round, founders, took part in it. So for us, it's also a way for them to pay it forward. But most especially also, it's also a means for us to also pay it forward to the next generation coming after us.
Great stuff. Now, you've heard all the news, what's been going on, right? The diesel shortages, like blackouts and so on. Can tech in Nigeria, can it thrive despite what's happening, or is it immune from all this, or are you feeling it with the rest of us?
Yes, we are. We're not necessarily immune to it. It will thrive. I mean, if the world can bounce back from what happened in 1999, 2000, when the entire tech market, there was a global bubble, we think we would do well. I mean, what we're experiencing today isn't necessarily anything that is, just peculiar to Nigeria. We have our own peculiar problems, but other markets also globally also have their own peculiar problems.